We are looking at a stunning confession where she reveals her lawyer told her to accept a 4-year prison sentence. That 4-year deal suddenly became a grim reality. Chrisean Rock was officially sent to prison, leaving her son, her career, and her entire empire behind. Facing multiple charges across 3 states, she was arrested with her baby. It all crashed down in an instant. Subscribe to our channel as we unpack how her life hit a full stop. Let us examine the multi-state charges. Her legal name is Chrisean Eugenia Malone, born March 14, 2000, in Baltimore. She is a rapper and popular reality television star who had a child in September 2023. By age 24, she had built a massive multi-state rap sheet, including 2 felonies and an active warrant. Authorities were simply waiting for her to walk into the wrong building. Our investigative team found her first arrest in May 2020 in Maryland, involving minor drug offenses. She failed to appear in court, triggering a warrant in July 2021, right as her fame began exploding online through her viral relationship with Blueface. The Maryland charges remained completely unresolved. This dangerous habit of avoiding court dates was quickly becoming her standard pattern. But the legal battle that truly threatened her freedom came in February 2022 in Oklahoma. Officers stopped the vehicle she was riding in over a minor unpaid toll. State troopers smelled marijuana, searched the vehicle, and uncovered nearly a pound of cannabis. Chrisean took full responsibility, claiming the drugs were hers. That stop hit her with 2 felony counts, including drug possession with intent to distribute and lacking a tax stamp. Under state guidelines, both of those serious counts carried up to 4 years in prison. That meant she faced 8 years total. She avoided immediate jail while the case was delayed, returning to California and to the online drama her followers watch daily. If you find this story wild, hit like. In March 2023, she pleaded guilty to those charges. The judge gave her 4 years of probation and ordered 120 hours of community service. No prison time, she just had to remain compliant and complete her hours. Instead, she chose to ignore the court mandate completely. By early 2024, prosecutors lost patience and moved to revoke her status, issuing an active felony fugitive warrant for her arrest. That March, she went live on Instagram to address the situation, claiming she had no time for prison. She argued she was too busy parenting and refused to surrender on the government's timeline. She posted that defiance online for everyone, including police. Meanwhile, our legal analyst tracked another violent incident unfolding in California during a November concert in downtown Los Angeles. Reports indicate that she physically confronted a backup dancer named James Wright Chanel, allegedly striking him with heavy rings and breaking 2 of his teeth. Severe criminal charges were filed in January 2024 for assault and battery. The victim also launched a civil lawsuit in February, alleging emotional distress. By spring 2024, Chrisean was facing an active felony warrant in Oklahoma, an ongoing California assault case, an infant child to care for, and a baby daddy who was facing his own heavy prison sentence. Yet, she continued to appear at public events and post online, traveling around Los Angeles as if she were untouchable. That changed on June 10, 2024, when she arrived at a courthouse in Van Nuys to support Blueface at his hearing. Holding her baby, she was quickly surrounded by 5 waiting police officers and immediately arrested in the parking lot. Both the Oklahoma fugitive warrant and California charges had finally caught up to her. On June 14, 2024, she pleaded no contest to the assault charge, receiving 30 days in jail and 12 months of probation. We confirmed she served that sentence at a local women's jail in Linwood. Following her release, she was immediately extradited and booked into the Craig County Detention Center in Oklahoma in August 2024. Her mugshot quickly circulated across every entertainment news site and drama channel that week. Back in Oklahoma, she faced the full severity of her previous drug arrest. Our legal sources confirmed the outlook was grim, with her own attorney advising her that they would likely have to accept a 4-year prison plea. Agreeing to 4 years before a trial even started was the best option her defense could offer. They predicted she would only have to serve about 2 years of that actual sentence. She ultimately replaced her lawyer, and we can report that the case was settled without a lengthy prison term. But the threat was severe. She was released in early September 2024 after 3 months in custody. Her son spent his first birthday without his mother. We invite you to subscribe and share your thoughts below. That jail sentence did not blindside her. It was building for years. We have to ask, did her son push her to change? She said her child inspired her to do better, but not while she was locked up in jail. Her baby was the fuel, but jail was the reality check. Both forces pushed her to this moment. That is the... If you want the real story, hit subscribe as you and I dig past the misleading court paperwork to understand how she ended up in a parking lot, arrested with her baby in her arms. We must trace this back to the start. It all goes back to her rise under the blueface effect. When your baby daddy is a walking legal liability, everyone takes hits. Every major court issue Chrisean Rock faced connects directly to him. That is not an excuse, it is a fact. Her 2020 Maryland charges were just a footnote. The real trouble started with a stolen car accusation. That triggered a wild road trip to Baltimore, an Oklahoma police stop, and a pound of marijuana. That stash brought 2 felony charges. The chaos began when she entered his mansion in 2020 on Blue Girls Club, his online reality show. It was a toxic contest. Multiple women lived in his house during the pandemic, fighting for his attention. Chrisean stood out because she was built differently, but not in a good way. She lacked any sense of self-preservation, showing up with an intense vibe. She was ready to ride for him at all costs, even fighting his other partner, Jaden Alexis. Chrisean actually lost a tooth in that fight. Still, she won, signed a record deal, and started a turbulent relationship with a man whose actions and words proved that his strict rules only ever applied to her. He could date other women, while she could not. He humiliated her publicly, yet she stayed right in his corner. Her extreme loyalty meant getting face tattoos, writing his name in blood, and catching vicious heat for him online. It was a severe trauma bond, and every legal case she caught between 2022 and 2024 had his mark on it. Her Oklahoma arrest involved a vehicle that Blueface claimed she stole. He and his manager, Whack 100, put her on blast. She was arrested in Oklahoma. He went live, instantly framing her as the crazy one while he played the stable partner. What went ignored was that the weed in that car would haunt her legal record for the next 3 years. Then came the 2022 Arizona incident at a venue they both attended. She assaulted him on camera, leading to trespass charges. It was a digital paper trail of a doomed relationship. Drop a like if you agree this cycle was destined to crash, their toxic pattern. In October 2022, she streamed her injuries online, accusing him of domestic violence inside a moving vehicle. She named him on camera. Yet the next day, she took it back, claiming she was drunk and that he was just saving her from jumping out. That excuse did not fool anyone. It only confirmed the exhausting cycle the public already saw. Expose him, deny it, then repeat it all over again. By 2023, they landed a reality show on Zeus called Chrisean Love, which literally monetized their toxic fights for public entertainment. Lie, detector tests, violent brawls, and a sham wedding. Observers who called it exploitation were spot on, but they also exposed the dark financial reality underneath. Leaving him meant losing her fame. Staying toxic was her only way to stay relevant. The drama paid the bills, as she admitted years later, without any PR spin, just speaking plain facts. She admitted she would watch their show episodes and feel completely miserable. She looked back at every single season and found not one moment of actual joy. She admitted she was often completely wasted just to cope, but remained deeply unhappy. She could not even fake a smile for the rolling cameras. She recalled sitting in dark rooms, knowing she did not belong there. Yet the show kept filming. She knew she was trapped, but felt powerless to escape. That is not entertainment. That is a cry for help. We are watching a crisis unfold. Meanwhile, her partner was catching his own serious felony charges at the same time. In October 2022, he reportedly shot at a vehicle outside a Las Vegas strip club after a bad joke. He faced attempted murder charges, but pleaded down to battery and firing a firearm, getting 3 years probation with a suspended prison sentence. He soon violated that probation. In August, back in 2024, an LA judge hit him with 4 years. He served roughly 2 before being released, around November 2025. Both parents were behind bars at the exact same time, leaving their baby with whoever was around. This symmetry was no accident. It was the absolute fallout of 2 people who had been racing to the bottom for years, outdoing each other's chaos until the courts lost all patience. Make sure you subscribe. because what made his impact on her case so devastating wasn't even their shared arrest. As we see it, it was the endless chaos he created, the constant instability, and the feeling that their entire world was constantly burning. That made simple probation impossible. Our files show she had 120 community hours, but she simply ignored them, too busy surviving their toxic relationship to satisfy the court. That single violation was what turned a plea bargain into a fugitive warrant. Our reporting shows that warrant got her arrested in broad daylight at a Van Nuys courthouse, all while she was trying to ride for a man who was already going to prison anyway. And here is the piece of news most outlets completely miss. He wasn't just destroying her personal life, he was actively blocking her career. And we have her on record admitting, "I do feel like my baby father is the main reason why people won't deal with me or work with me, for real." Because this isn't rumor, folks. It's a direct confession that his toxic brand chased away artists, labels, and collaborators who avoided the drama. She added that his controlling nature made her decide to just leave it there, drop it right there. She got arrested in his car, caught charges on his watch, and missed her court hours because his life was too chaotic. At the same time, we saw him blocking her career opportunities from the outside. In our eyes, that is not a relationship, it is a trap designed to keep someone from ever standing on their own feet. Now, let's discuss the bombshell, Chrisean Rock Joyner, and her sister who publicly spoke out. If you love deep dives, hit that like button. Absolutely nothing Chrisean has done, including those drug charges or violent assault cases, nor her toxic relationship that dragged on for 4+ years, generated the massive firestorm she caught over her pregnancy and her baby. The second she announced her pregnancy in early 2023, we watched the internet stop treating her story like simple drama and start treating it like evidence. And once that viral interview dropped online in 2025, the public discourse shifted from mere gossip to a brutal online courtroom with no defense team. Her pregnancy was heavily scrutinized from day one in the absolute worst way. Clips from live streams and club hosting gigs surfaced, allegedly showing her drinking, with pineapple, Ciroc mentioned by name in viral footage, smoking, and partying while heavily pregnant. Meanwhile, Blueface was already on social media, denying paternity, demanding immediate DNA tests, airing out their private lives, and posting incredibly harsh comments on our timelines. It was a chaotic media circus, with both parents attacking each other online while their baby was developing. Chrisean Jesus Porter was born on September 3, 2023. To our shock, parts of the delivery were broadcast live online. Blueface claimed a DNA test cleared him, but Chrisean countered with paperwork showing he was the dad. Meanwhile, his mother Carlissa Saffold publicly accused Chrisean of drug use during her pregnancy, claiming the newborn suffered from hidden complications. As we moved forward, by the time the baby was 2.5, our viewers and analysts raised red flags over the footage. He wasn't walking, barely spoke, showed motor delays, and seemed unresponsive. Professional medical commentary online began pointing to prenatal exposure, with fetal alcohol spectrum disorder dominating discussions on every single platform. Blueface eventually admitted to speech delays, but blamed Chrisean's parenting instead of seeking professional help. Then, Chrisean did a revealing interview with the Danza Project in 2025, and those comments quickly went viral. She refused to back down or accept defeat publicly, choosing to lean heavily on her faith, claiming her boy would be fine and that doctors don't have the final say when God is involved. She declared he is great, growing, and blessed. She explained she was keeping him offline on purpose, shielded from the public eye, to prove critics wrong on her own time, without the internet grading her child's development in real time, begging viewers to give him privacy. Remember to subscribe for updates. She wants to prove everyone wrong through her faith in God. Don't forget to like this video. Then came the shocking statement that made our entire commentary desk and every creator online go absolutely wild. She claimed there was nothing wrong with her son. The internet's response was swift and completely ruthless. Suddenly, creators covering this drama gained massive new audiences, who had never even heard of her reality TV past. Millions watched a mother brush off obvious developmental issues, choosing to rely on faith over real medical science. These clips flooded parts of YouTube that never cover rap drama. Smash that subscribe button as we track this. They had no patience for excuses. They dug up her past, found the pregnancy clips, and analyzed her closely. They treated her like a scientific case study, bluntly calling her out for her behavior during pregnancy. The criticism was harsh and lasting. Observers kept pointing out that early intervention is not optional for kids. It is highly time-sensitive, and every single month spent in denial was a month of lost professional therapy. That meant valuable developmental support was being kept from a child who desperately needed it. Our team observed critics, shouting that this child needs real therapy, not someone trying to manifest healing on social media. But let us be fair here, because most news outlets completely glossed over this key detail. Chrisean did confirm that her toddler was in physical therapy by age 2.5, sharing his minor milestone. She showed the progress made in his sessions, proving she was not completely ignoring his medical needs. Yet, she kept rejecting any official disability labels, and in our collective view, that was a massive mistake. Coupled with the viral prenatal clips, the public refused to let it go. Make sure to hit like on this video. Then, her own sister sat down with Jason Lee on Hollywood Unlocked and blew this entire story wide open. During their chat, Jason brought up Chrisean's ex, who had spent months claiming to be the child's real father. Before the DNA test could settle it, that man was tragically shot 10 times in his car outside his home. It happened in broad daylight. No suspects were caught, even though he was fiercely pursuing that paternity test. He was absolutely serious about his claim. When Jason asked her sister about it, she did not defend her sibling. Instead of shutting down the rumors, she walked a fine line, but chose to speak. Let's look at her words. He really got murdered, right? I saw that online. And did you actually know him? She confirmed she knew him personally, even cooked for him. He was always around their family. When asked about the exact details of his murder, her responses were incredibly cautious and measured. She hinted that speaking on it would look very bad for certain people in their circle, so she refused to say more, leaving a massive cloud of suspicion hanging over the entire situation. She noted it was all online, saying she was not the police but would leave it there. To be clear, no charges have ever been filed in this case. No official investigation has ever linked Chrisean to any of these events. Still, the timing of his scheduled DNA test remains highly suspicious. Suddenly, the case was everywhere. Shots were fired, and the test never happened. What made these public statements so incredibly shocking was their source. They came from her own sister. Later, Chrisean addressed the drama directly on the Danza project. She explained she was under strict probation supervision, making any involvement logistically impossible. She called the wild rumors a deep betrayal, but the internet had already made up its mind. That is the troubling part of this story. There is simply no clean resolution. Now let's examine her dramatic arrest and what her actual jail sentence meant for her. Her arrest on June 10, 2024, played out like a scene from a movie script. She arrived at the courthouse with her baby, dressed up, intending to support Blueface at his hearing. But 5 police officers were already waiting. Whether she knew they were there or not, they moved in instantly. They arrested her on active warrants from Oklahoma and California while she held her infant child. It happened inside the very building where justice had been trying to catch her for 2 years. On June 14th, she received 30 days in jail and 12 months of supervised probation. After serving her time at Linwood, she was immediately extradited to Oklahoma to face her remaining charges. Chrisean Rock was booked into Craig County Jail, the exact place holding her felony warrant since early 2024. She sat there while her 2022 drug case resolved. For the first time in her public life, she had no escape routes, no Instagram lives, and no drama to redirect attention. No Blueface to argue with online. She was locked up, so hit subscribe to follow this story. You and I have seen many wild celebrity turnarounds, but this jailhouse transformation really broke through. When the heavy steel doors slammed shut, she reportedly felt a profound sense of inner peace. No tears, no breakdowns, just stillness. She apparently prayed for God to let her cell become a spiritual hospital, admitting she had dragged her faith through wild club nights, endless court dates, and petty internet fights. She had no chance to stop her downward spiral. Nothing in her chaotic life forced boundaries. She knew she had to take responsibility for her past mistakes and legal obligations. She began reading the Bible cover to cover, sharing a modern, easy-to-read translation with her cellmate. While studying the biblical story of Jonah, she reportedly felt her heart pounding in her chest. This was not just emotion. It was a physical sensation, which she described as a divine intervention moving through her body. She began speaking in tongues and praising God right there in prison. She started hosting jailhouse Bible studies, allegedly converting other inmates. The sheer irony of this transformation, Chrisean, famous for violent street fights and assault charges, leading a Christian prayer group inside, was not lost on the public, and certainly not lost on her. Her 3-month lockup forced a serious level of discipline on her, making her feel almost like a vulnerable child again, told when to eat, sleep, and use the phone. That rigid incarceration schedule, which most inmates find dehumanizing by design, actually felt familiar. She grew up with absolutely zero financial security, no life stability, and no guaranteed shelter. Hard boundaries were not foreign to her. They were her normal before the fame and fortune. Stripping away the wealth, the viral drama, and the toxic social media world did not destroy her. Instead, it returned her to her true self. In another wild twist, she fired her attorney. Her defense attorney had arranged a 4-year plea deal, but she rejected it based on prayer rather than legal strategy. It did not feel right spiritually, and miraculously, the case settled without her serving the full time. She was released in September 2024, after 3 months, right after her baby boy turned 1. Her sentencing made headlines, but you and I know the real story happened behind closed doors. A completely changed woman walked out that day, heading straight back home to Baltimore. She settled in and immediately began recording a track she wrote while listening to the echo of her cell. The acoustics of those cold concrete walls shaped her melody. She ultimately named this new gospel track Yahweh. In April 2025, she dropped the track alongside major gospel artists and the Faith City Choir. She performed it live and joined a local church choir, leading Sunday services in Baltimore. She sang for churchgoers who did not care about her reality TV drama or car crashes. The contrast between her online persona, getting dragged out of podcasts for wild fights, and notoriously knocking out backup dancers, compared to the woman now leading praise on a church stage, is shocking. Is this the most genuine redemption in rap history, or an elaborate publicity stunt? Our team is split on this, and you and I can agree that the skepticism is fair. She has promised brand new chapters before, only to return to toxic cycles within a few weeks. We needed real proof this time, not just positive vibes. And in June, that proof arrived. In June 2025, Oklahoma officially granted her an early release from her probation. Her probation was set until late 2026, but she posted court paperwork celebrating the win. Regardless of your thoughts on her faith, those legal documents are a matter of public record. A judge agreed she earned her release early. That is a concrete legal victory. Drop a like if you agree. That legal nightmare hanging over her since February 2022, which turned a routine probation into a fugitive warrant and then an extradition, is officially over. No 8-year sentence, no multi-year bid. She is free, sober by her own account, celibate, and heading to church on weekdays. But since she is still a massive star, she did not just quietly slip away. In April 2026, she stepped inside a professional boxing ring for the first time, winning her debut at X Rumble by split decision after thousands of people begged to catch those hands. This was real training. Claressa Shields, one of the absolute greatest in women's boxing, publicly praised her heavy discipline. For someone who had spent years in the spotlight, for fighting in parking lots and screaming on reality show sets, being praised by a real combat sports legend for legitimate athletic dedication was a whole different kind of win. There were still some lingering issues. An active warrant surfaced in early 2026 over a traffic stop from December 2025, involving driving on a suspended license in Hermosa Beach. She fought it, claiming her license was only work restricted, not completely revoked, and she is sorting it out. This is not a fresh arrest. It is just old paperwork catching up to her. That distinction really matters to you and me. When we are trying to judge if someone has truly changed, the dark thoughts she admitted to in her recent Danza Project interview were not for show. They were real, and admitting that publicly took immense courage. She said, "I wanted to die. It is sad. I was truly suicidal." She said it flatly, with absolutely zero theatrics. She had survived a dark place for years, explaining that looking back at older reality show footage, she saw she was never truly happy. Drunk at times, yes, but never deeply happy. She admitted wanting to end it all but being too afraid to act, and looking back, that fear kept her alive long enough to finally find a place of peace. What we can say about this specific story that you and I cannot say about most celebrity legal sagas is that the receipts are fully documented on both sides. The painful footage of her pregnant and drinking is real. The court termination paperwork is public. The viral mugshot from Craig County is real. Her gospel track exists. Her boxing victory is official. This is not a situation where we have to take anyone's word for it. This entire journey played out right before our eyes, fully documented, time-stamped, and archived forever. The real question we face now is simply which evidence we choose to weigh heavier, and when exactly we decide a struggling person deserves to be judged by who they are today, rather than who they used to be. If you agree, subscribe to our channel, like this video, and click the cards on your screen to keep watching.